Hello and welcome. My name is Elyse. Today I'm going to show you how to use one stamp set two ways. We're going to make a slimline card and a treat box, perfect for Halloween. Here is the card that I am going to make, and here is a look at the little treat box. Now let's jump into the project. So I'm using this Trick or Treat stamp set from Trinity Stamps. It's really fun because it involves no coloring. All of the little ghouls and goblins and trick-or-treaters are all just silhouette stamps, so it makes it really easy to create with. So to start out, I've got a panel of Bristol Smooth cardstock. I'm just going to use some big Post-it note tape to mask off a little ground for my trick-or-treaters. I'm using my grid mat to line that up straight. And then I can go in and do my ink blending. So I'm using Distress Oxide inks and Carved Pumpkin, Worn Lipstick, and Seedless preserves to kind of make my spooky Halloween nighttime scene. So this stamp set is perfect to create cards for your kids or nieces and nephews, or anybody that is a Halloween lover. And it just makes making a scene card so easy because you don't have to color anything in. Where this stamp set shines is just an ink blended background. And then you can stamp the trick-or-treaters and the sentiment in a black ink, and you're pretty much done. It makes it so simple and easy. So much of the time when you look at scene cards, it's time consuming. It's one of the most time consuming types of cards. And so this makes it really easy, but you still end up with a really fun scene and something that did not take you very long. So once I've got the sky done, like I said, I've got my little bit of ground, and I'm just using some Distress Oxide Black Soot to get my ground covered. Now, because I am doing this on ink blending and I'm not using a ton of ink, it will not be as dark as my silhouettes are, and that's how I wanted it. So if you use a really heavy hand while ink blending, you could use a gray color or even like a green color for the ground. You could also do this on like a hillside instead of a straight flat. So here I've got that big trick or treat. This is so much fun. This is such a unique size for stamp sets too that Trinity has come out with. So this really fills the entire slimline panel. I'm using Versafine Onyx Black ink, which is a pigment-based black ink. And I end up stamping it a couple times to get that trick or treat really dark, just because I am stamping on top of something that I've already ink blended. Now I'm going to go ahead and take a few of these cute little trick or treaters and their little cat friend and put these down onto my card. So I've got the ghost there, the little kind of devil, and the witch, and the cat. I'm just going to make sure those are all lined up, that their little feet are down on the ground the way that I want them to. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp them again using that Versafine Onyx Black ink. Now, you could easily heat emboss these, and I think that they would look really nice and they'd stand out a little bit better, but I was just going for quick today and I did not really want to get out my heat gun. So just making sure, like I said, I have stamped these now a few times because I wanted to get something really dark. So I'm just running my like a paper towel over top just to get a good impression. And I'm going to set that aside to let it completely dry. Now we're going to move on to the little Scalloped Treat Box. I'm just doing the same ink blending, but not leaving any space for the ground. You could easily do that, but because of the height of my treat box and the size of that sentiment, I just thought it would just be better to not. You could and maybe should also mask off the bottoms. You'll see it in the end. The bottoms do show that they're half ink blended orange, or just ink blend them completely. Either way. By the way, these little boxes are die cut from Bristol Smooth again. It's my favorite ink blending. And I'm using this water media mat to do my ink blending on. All of the supplies, by the way, are linked down below in case you are looking for anything. Going ahead and going in with the Seedless preserves. And then I will blend that out again with the worn lipstick. When I ink blend, I go lay down a color, lay down a second color, go back to the first color, go back to the second color, go to the third color, go back to the second color, sometimes even go back to the third color. So that's just kind of how I do my ink blending. I knew that I wanted to do orange and purple, but I just didn't think I could ink blend orange into purple. So I needed a buffer, and the warm lipstick provided that. So now I've got this long sentiment, and it's just too big. So don't freak out. I'm going to cut apart my stamps. This is so easy to do, and you can still line it up just the same as you would before, but you can also now use it separately. So don't be afraid to do that if you ever, need to modify a sentiment or something like that. So once I have these loaded the way that I want them in my Misti, I'm just going to go ahead and stamp them again with that same black ink, and I will stamp them a couple of times to make sure that I get good coverage. I am using my magnet here, which is really important because I'm trying to butt up the edges of that box in my Misti and have it not shift. Here I am with the treat side because I did trick or, so this side is going to be treat. And on the panel that has no sentiment, I'm using the little spider from this stamp set and the little cat again because I think the cat's just so, so cute. My next door neighbor has a black cat that always is outside. His name is Yoda, and he often comes onto my porch. So this little guy kind of just reminds me of sweet Yoda. So just to finish off the card, all I did was glue it down onto my card base, and that's it. That completes that project. Now for the treat box, I'm just going ahead and scoring down those folds, reinforcing them, and then I can glue this together. For the little flaps, I am using score tape just to hold everything together. And then I will go in with some liquid glue and just reinforce that bottom. Here's where you can see that bottom is half ink blended. It is what it is. At the end of the day, I'm going to hand this out to a small child who probably won't even notice. The only person who will know is me. And while it bothers me, it's not enough for me to pull out my ink blending tool again. You can also see my little inky fingerprints on the inside because I wasn't patient enough to let this completely dry before I decided to build it. Just taking some of this green kind of like wormy paper shred, I don't know what we call this, paper fill, adding that in, and then when Halloween comes, I'm just gonna pop some candy in the top, and it will be a nice little surprise and a little gift for somebody. These are so fun to make and really simple to make, but people always love them whenever I make something like that. And that completes the projects for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, comment down below, give this video a like, and subscribe so you never miss out on content. I hope that you all have a wonderful day, and I will catch you in the next one.